In the Fuzzy Memories podcast, we celebrate the good, the rad, and the fugly of the 80s and 90s.
We're three latchkey kids who made it out alive.
And in each episode, we break down all the culture that popped, 1 year at a time.
Whether it's the birth of legends...
I'm Lyme disease free today, and I have Whitney Houston and MTV to thank. Or audacious moves.
Imagine also the poor Golden Gate Bridge. You turn 75 and people have a party on you.
Yep. I don't want that.
Or even confusing PSAs.
And the stop, drop, and roll. I mean, I assumed as an adult I would catch on fire weekly.
All the time!
We've got a take that will make you laugh.
We've also got thoughts on all sorts of random phenomena and the most unmitigated of golf.
Why sharks can't be trusted, people can't be trusted, and rivers can't be trusted. It's collusion.
It's of the highest degree.
Uh-huh.
You were counseling me to start my remarks with, first of all, bitch.
Everyone in that room would have snapped to attention.
It's going to be basically coffee lids, shark revenge, and then maybe like Matt Getz. God, we need to do something about him.
Join us every other Wednesday to celebrate the hits, the misses, and the misfits of the weirdest decades.
If I could tell my 14-year-old self from 1990 that I would be eating in a cheesecake factory in
Beverly Hills,
I'd be like, we did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it.
Listen and subscribe to Fuzzy Memories on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform. Hello, and welcome to Broads and Books, the podcast with one unique theme, 4 hand-picked book recommendations, and 2 broads. I'm Erin.
And I'm Amy, and this is episode number 34, Double, Toil and Trouble.
If you didn't get it from that reference, we're going to talk about some witches.
Witches. Witchy witches.
Witchy witches.
Witching it up.
Witch.
Yes. We are talking about witches. It's a great time to talk about witches.
It is.
I mean, we're around Halloween.
Halloween's
by the time
upon
this
us.
comes out. Yes.
Yes.
Really, any time's a good time to talk about witches.
Yes.
Always want to talk about witches.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much ground there.
So that leads me to my first question.
Okay.
Erin.
Hit me with it.
Would you like to be a witch? And if so, what kind?
Yes. And
I'm not surprised.
yeah, no, you shouldn't be.
No.
But different than me being a ghost. It wouldn't be just revenge based.
Okay.
Being a witch, I would like to be bewitched, like Samantha, where I
Oh,
have a
yeah,
normal
yeah.
life, but
Uh-huh.
I can bring magic in when I want.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel as though this would serve my drug cartel really well.
Oh.
Because I could be really, 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 really badass and
Yeah.
take people by surprise.
Oh, my God.
Like, what? I don't understand what just happened in that meeting. It's because I'm a witch.
Would the bullet in your head impact? If you remember a few episodes ago, we talked about a bullet that got stuck in your head and gave you powers.
Yeah.
Is that what's helping you be a witch? Or
Maybe.
is this a separate scenario?
Yeah, I think it's probably separate. But
Okay,
if the sitcom needed to go that direction,
Sure.
we could.
Bewitched did it.
Right.
Yes.
So it's kind of a modern take on Bewitched. But
Okay.
if not, I kind of said this, because I want to be a combo of good and bad, because that's true of everyone, right? I don't want to be a
Absolutely.
Glenda. That's
No,
boring.
no.
And I don't want to be only wicked, because
No.
that's not fun either.
And if you're both, then you're unpredictable.
Unpredictable. That's what I like.
Yes.
Yes.
So your cartel won't know what the hell's
Yes.
happening. If
They'll
you're
be
being
like-
in a really good mood or if you
Yeah.
are down to...
They're like, things
Hurt some
were
people.
so great, and then all of a sudden I was on fire, and I don't know where it came from. And she was just smiling, and it was creepy.
Oh, so when you did your witchy stuff, you would smile. I like that a lot. Would it be like how you're smiling at me right now, where your teeth are not showing? Okay, yeah, that's scary. That's real
Yeah.
scary.
That's my, like, I'm not really smiling, I'm thinking about it. I did it for you there.
Oh, yeah, that was chilling.
Okay. Right? I know.
Yeah.
That's Erin's trying not to say what she's really thinking face.
Oh, that's the restrained face.
So if you
Filter.
see that in public,
Oh, that's terrible because it doesn't hit your eyes. The smile doesn't reach your eyes. So your eyes are just cold and your smile is there.
real fake.
Oh, God. Okay.
I have a really important question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that witches and warlocks deal with the same pay inequality?
You know they friggin' do. And here's why. Witches are the ones getting burnt. They're the ones getting persecuted. They're the ones getting into the Inquisition, being tortured.
You're right.
Thrown into lakes for the float test. No warlocks are getting that stuff.
You're right.
So all those years of persecution, that's how warlocks keep the witches down.
It wasn't the Salem warlock trials.
You're right. Always
It was the
witches.
Salem witch trials.
Yes. Whereas warlocks, they get the Harry Potter treatment. Great. Nope.
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, I think witches are not getting paid what they're due.
You're right. They have been held down by warlocks for...
I bet they're getting less than 70 cents, 72, whatever cents we women get. I bet they're getting like 30 cents on the dollar.
You know they are.
Wait, how do witches and warlocks make money?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think that it's maybe just like wooden coins that they make up themselves. I mean, do they need anything?
Doesn't inflation, that if they're making their own money, isn't inflation an
Yeah,
issue?
I don't know. Maybe they do have a banking system. I'm not sure.
Wait, if you're magic, wouldn't you just be like, hey, I don't have to pay for this?
Right. I think you just kind of make everything yourself. Yeah.
Huh.
I will say that I have questions. I mean, I think we can obviously say that because why are they still riding on brooms?
Exactly.
First of all, just fly. I don't need a broom.
We don't need a broom.
I don't need a broom.
No, that's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to hit you right in the place you don't want to
And
hit.
also, it just feels like you're trying to say I should be sweeping a floor.
Exactly.
And no.
Oh, you're right.
How's a warlock being transported? I don't know. It's not some standard household item. It's some
I
like
want witches to do like
kick-ass DeLorean or something.
Yes! I want witches to do a full-on Superman, just like fists in the air flying.
If I was a witch, I'd be like, no, I don't. Not buy
I'm not
broom.
taking your broom.
Mm-mm. No.
Not taking your gender roles.
No, I would be a diva. I will need this kind of situation immediately, or I will wreak havoc in here.
I will witch the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, now that we're digging into like what a witch's life is like.
Yeah.
There's this idea that there's a cauldron involved
Always.
and it's always bubbling.
Always.
If you were a witch, what would you cook in that bubbling cauldron?
Juice. Blame it on my juice. But it would be magic. It would taste like whatever you wanted it to. Like you're like
Willy Wonka?
Yeah. Like I'm craving. Why did I think of this? I'm craving pot roast and mashed potatoes. And then that's what that would taste like. Or you'd be like, oh man, I'm craving cotton candy.
And it's going to taste like cotton candy. So the cauldron is stuff that you eat, or is it spells you make?
It's stuff you eat. I've just
Okay.
put a spell on it to read your mind and be like, this is what you really want, and that's what it's going to taste like. Wow. And also, it may or may not play the song by Lizzo called Juice.
Blame it on the juice. Blame it on the juice. Yeah, I like that. I was also thinking gin and juice. I like Snoop Dogg.
lay back. Sipping on gin.
Erin's doing some great seat dancing
Yeah.
right there. That was
That
real
could be good.
good.
I think we'll change it up depending on the day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the nutritional value of the stuff in the cauldron?
Whatever you want it to be.
Okay. Great.
I mean, you need some vitamin C. Your body's going to magically take that out of the liquid you wanted to taste like cotton candy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not just going to rest on my laurels as a witch.
Good.
I'm going to be
You're
advancing culture.
Innovation.
Innovation. I probably am going to have some things enslaved. Usually witches have some kind of, whether it's a flying monkey, whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I don't want to say I'm enslaving them. I just want to say like I'm employing them. And
Yes.
so we're all working together.
Oh, partnerships versus forced servitude.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want forced servitude.
No.
No.
Man, you're going to be a badass witch.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
Can you make the drugs out of your cauldron?
Sure.
The drugs that you then like get out onto the streets.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, for the cartel. Done.
Man.
Yeah. I got no real problems as a witch, to be honest.
No.
Except for the warlock trying to keep me down. Hit your
Friggin'
foot off my
warlock.
neck.
Friggin' warlock
Yeah.
with your extra magic money.
Well, speaking of partnerships or, things that might be around a witch, do you think that Podcat would make a good witch's pet?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because she is a black cat. She looks super witchy. She'd also be down for all the bad stuff
Yeah,
that we would
yeah.
do. I would say no, though, because she's not Well, first of all, she doesn't consider herself my pet, as we've established.
True,
Right?
yeah.
So she would really bristle against that.
Yeah, she's not going to like that.
Also, if I tried to do good stuff, she'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know.
She'd be all peer pressure on making
You're right.
it worse. Like, get more murdery, get more dark.
She's like,
real
I was
weird.
trained in the dark arts for a reason.
Exactly.
Stop wasting my talent.
Exactly.
I'm not okay with this.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not just some, I'm not some Jiminy Cricket over here. I am Podcat.
Do you remember that? Well, I don't know if you do. On the Disney Channel, they had like little snippets of Jiminy Cricket telling you to do safety things.
Oh, no.
Like,
No, I don't.
I'm no fool. Like, he sang this song about not being a fool, and then he would be like, look both ways before you cross the street, because I'm no fool.
Oh,
And he'd
this
be
is
like
terrifying.
Singing and cricketing across the road.
Yeah, Podcat wouldn't do any of that.
I also like the idea that there was a meeting where somebody said, we're naming him Jiminy Cricket.
Like, where did that come from?
I feel like we could have a whole series of meetings where one of us is pitching the idea to the other one. Like, Jiminy, what?
What?
Cricket's good. What?
Oh, I like that. Like, we could go off on, like, this is what a pitch meeting was like.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
Here's behind the scenes of the Jiminy Cricket pitch meeting.
Yeah. I want to hear the other names that came up with.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Charles.
Yeah.
Charles the Cricket.
Yes.
Chuck the Cricket. Good old Chuck. Singing
Chuckles Cricket Pants.
or Bert the Bug or something like
What if we made him a grasshopper? What if he was Gregory the grasshopper? Is anybody opposed to that?
Gregory the Grasshopper.
Monty the praying mantis. No, you're right. We have to go with Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
you're right.
that's obviously
fine,
the best
fine.
one.
Why-
Yeah.
Is there some with locust though? Larry the locust? Sam the cicada. I'll get there. I will.
Larry the Lightning Bug?
Yes. You can sound like Larry the Cable Guy.
Oh. See, we could have given them way better ideas.
way more ideas.
Yeah.
Way better ideas.
I bet there were no witches or warlocks in that pitch meeting.
You could just call it Junebug because there's already a first name, June the Junebug.
But you can't name it a girl.
No.
I mean, the voice of reason has to be a guy.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry.
Even
that's
a
bad.
cricket guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Jiminy.
Yeah. Cool, Jiminy. Anyway, in my first fiction pick, there are no talking crickets.
Dang it.
But there are other talking animals.
Oh.
So, our theme is about witches.
Okay.
My pick is called The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulyakov.
Okay.
Let me start with this book is crazy weird.
Oh, all right.
It is also one of my all-time favorite books.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So it
That
is.
feels like we should have a special song, like a special moment when it's like, this is serious.
I need to have David Bowie Heroes playing behind
Yeah,
me right
this
now.
is
So
one
you
of
get
it.
the-
Oh my God. Pay attention. This is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so just imagine that right now.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be able to put it in post-production. We don't have the rights for that. Just imagine.
no, it's way too
play this
expensive.
along with Spotify's Heroes.
There you go.
Okay?
There you
Yeah.
go.
I can time it out for you.
Yep.
It's going to be great.
Okay.
Okay. So it is spring in Moscow, and the devil shows up. He's got an entourage that includes a naked witch, a demon with a snaggletooth, and a huge talking black cat who likes vodka and guns. Kind of pretty much Podcat's inspiration for
Yeah.
all of life.
Also, can we just pause for a second right there and say yet again, the female has to be naked, and all that's wrong with the guy is a snaggletooth?
Yes.
Look at my whole body, and then on this guy, let's give him a snaggletooth.
I know.
Come on.
I know.
Yeah.
That is a problem in
Okay.
this book.
Is it?
All the witchy women are naked. Yeah, okay, we'll just go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the inherent problem. We are in Stalinist Russia in the 1930s. So believing in God or Satan is not allowed. But believing in black cars that come at night to arrest anyone for anything is very real. So because of that lack of belief in how effed up this society is, this devil crew, wreaks havoc. At the same time, there is a writer named the Master
Don't know what his real name is. Maybe he named himself that. Don't know. He's in a mental hospital because he was writing a novel about Christ and Pontius Pilate. And there's a woman named Margarita who's desperate to get him out because they're in love. When the devil and his crew get mixed up with the Master and Margarita, things turn even weirder. Now, I picked this for this episode because, of course, the devil comes with a witch by his side, but also because a big part of this story is Margarita becoming a witch. First off, she gets a magic cream that she rubs all over her body, takes all her clothes off, and she takes to the skies on a broom.
Oh, okay.
So imagine naked on a broom, even more uncomfortable.
Oh, gosh.
She makes it work.
Hope it has some good varnish.
While she's a witch, she gets revenge on those who persecuted the Master. She grants some wishes. She is the queen at the devil's ball. She does so much more. She's real busy as a witch. Now, you may have noticed that I didn't give a publication year for this book because Boyakov, he wrote this in the 1930s and 40s, but it wasn't published until well after his death in the 1960s. And even then in a censored version and not in Russia.
Oh.
Because the Soviets considered it that dangerous to read.
Really?
So this is real hardcore.
Wow.
The idea of religion, but also this coded language around the secret police and, you know, the terror that's happening at this time when millions of people are killed, it was too much. They did not allow this.
Okay.
Another interesting thing, back in Chicago, I knew a couple people that grew up in the Soviet Union, one from Lithuania and one from Uzbekistan. And when I told them that I had been reading this book, they had this thing memorized. This was amazing to them. This was the book about Soviet Russia.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, so we would talk about that forever.
So were you able to was it ever published again without the censor?
Yes.
Post the 19...
Yes,
okay.
yes. And in a fully, translated version and everything like that. But yeah, not for a long time until after he was dead. So what's great about witches here is just like in any other story, they bypass all human laws and they give power to women, especially who don't really have that power to begin with. One last thing, I'm going to sound kind of like an asshole here. I got a master's in literature and I did my master's thesis on this book and another one of his works. Okay. And why I mention that is because sometimes when you do academic work on a book, you start hating it. Yeah. I still love this book. Oh, that's how much it stands up to even criticism and all that kind of stuff.
And that does not make you sound like an asshole. Why can't you say that you did that? Come on.
You're right, Erin.
Yeah, own it. You
Why
did it.
Why was I doing that?
If anyone thinks you're a jerk for that, it's because they didn't do it and they feel insecure. And you know what? You don't need to feel insecure about someone else's achievements.
You know what? That was like a warlock in my head telling me that I was an asshole.
Get out of here, warlock.
God damn it, warlock. Anyway, so I did that. I also almost got a tattoo of one of my favorite lines from this book, which is manuscripts don't burn. And I may still. Who knows?
I kind of like that line.
Yeah. There's this wonderful point at which the master has destroyed this book that he wrote, but the devil pulls it out of the fire and he says manuscripts don't burn and gives it back to him, which is kind of like a big FU to Soviet Union at the time. So yes,
it's a great commentary on freedom of speech as well.
It is. It's incredible. There's so much to this book, which is why I mentioned the master's thing, because as I kept digging into it and I got to talk to a Russian professor, and I got to really dig into history and more of his works, it was absolutely amazing and really rewarding to learn about.
Very cool.
And some friggin' witches. Great witches.
Wow. I feel like you knocked it out of the park with this one.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't know if I can follow it up.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Don't let that warlock talk to you like that.
You're right. Okay. All right. So my pick is called Wicked, Son of a Witch.
Ooh.
This is, you're probably familiar with the series Wicked. You probably maybe because of the musical form or whatever. This is, that's actually considered a series by Gregory Maguire. It's called The Wicked Years. So Wicked was the first one. This is actually book 2. And I have torn through this whole series. I love book 2. And Wicked was great. I'm not taking anything away from it. And if you've never read the first one, you should. If you only know it from the musical or peripherally know the story.
It's very different from the musical, too.
It is. Yeah. It's just, I just really like the way he took everything we know about that and kind of took it in a whole different way.
Yeah.
And not in just a I changed the character's way, but in a perspective changing way. Like, what if you just looked at it like this? He didn't necessarily change I guess I'm talking around it, but it's supposedly like the true story of the Wizard of Oz, right? And so if you look at some of those things, like in the first one, the flying monkeys.
Yeah.
And if you read through Wicked, it kind of gives you a different perspective on what was really going on there. And I love that because he doesn't change the facts. He just says, look at it from a different place.
Yep.
Love it. So the second one I love even more. We're following Lear, who watches the witch die and is hiding out in the castle. And you're not entirely sure, is this Elphaba's son that we're following? He also might have a half-sister. What does that mean? It picks up where Wicked left off, but it jumps forward. He has Elphaba's broom and cape in this. And he does have some powers, but he hasn't figured out what that means or how to use them. He just knows that he's somehow different, and he hasn't been able to figure out. No one will tell him what his family heritage is, where he comes from. And he's struggling with the idea, is a witch always wicked? Is it automatic that a witch is wicked? So for me, I don't know what it is about books that play this good and bad card that people are not all good or not all bad. It's just like one of my favorite themes.
It's so real.
Yes.
It's just,
It always triggers me to really like it when an author goes after that and tries to explore that more. And I really think that that's a big part of this second book, and a big part of dealing with family or where you come from. What does that mean? Should I have that play a big part in my identity? Does it matter? So I really, really, really think that it is wonderfully written. I love it. I've read all of his books. I love all of them for different reasons. But for this one, the second book is really phenomenal. So if you've only ever done the first one or you've never done any, you should jump in.
This could be a good place.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're great.
How many
really
total are there?
I think there's 3 that are considered on the Wicked. Okay. Because then he goes on and there's like a retelling of Cinderella and some other different things. So, yeah. And not in like a fractured fairy tale way either. I mean, we might have all encountered those sometimes in younger elementary years. They turn it on their heads. It's not quite that. It's taking the same story, but looking at it from a character perspective or a humanity perspective, a society perspective, as if those things were real and looking at it a different way.
Absolutely. And I remember reading Wicked before the musical and everything. And I remember loving that part that it dove so much into the complexity of a person and what makes them good, what makes them bad. One thing which I don't know about you, I don't know if you saw the musical, but I felt they skated over that a lot.
They did.
I didn't like it because of that.
No. Yeah, they did. They which to some degree, I guess that's the magic of books, right? Because I don't know how you entirely get that across on stage. I mean, Elphaba's a complex character, and you get the idea maybe in the musical of her intentions, but you don't really understand how far they went and how important they were to her and how not diabolical they were at all. Yeah. How misunderstood she was and how it continued to be that way. And I think we've talked about this before, allegory to society and real life. You can draw a lot of parallels.
So much.
So,
and even just playing with that idea of witch, because we know it's been such a complicated idea in our society, not just from Wizard of Oz, but from everything. So to really dig in and give a witch humanity is pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's great. They're wonderful. So yeah, that's why I had to bring it out for witch.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And not to say anything against Idina Menzel, who plays Elphaba.
Yeah.
She's amazing. All the cast is amazing. The show itself just kind of left me cold.
Yeah, I get you. I know, I understand. Yeah. I can totally get there. Yeah. There's something more in the book. That's a good example of probably the book really delivering. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, it was a great idea to make it a musical. It fits perfectly. Yeah. It just, if you are a fan of the book, you'll kind of be like, well, yeah.
Exactly. Well, in my other genre pick, I chose a book that you're going to love the title of this, Erin. It's called The Roots of Desire, The Myth, Meaning, and Sexual Power of Red Hair. There was this realization that passed over her face, over your face. That was just wonderful.
I mean,
you're
for
like,
a minute
oh, God.
I was like you were playing a joke on me. Like you made up the title just to see.
No, this is a real legit book.
I want a tape of your face when you found this book.
I found this a long time ago, actually. It's by Marion Roach. Came out in 2005. I was digging this
Yeah.
when it came out. This is part history, part memoir, part essay. And she starts with the idea that a redhead often draws attention. Throughout time, she says, redheads have been worshipped, idealized, and fetishized. And growing up a redhead myself, I can confirm this. People say things to you that they may not say to other people, usually sexual things. Now that dating apps are a thing, it's even worse.
Oh.
There's all sorts of weird stuff. My most recent favorite, pretty mild, was just, I've never been with a redhead. I'm looking forward to the chance. It's like, yeah, that's not going to happen, buddy.
What?
Okay.
What?
Yeah. Just a little tidbit.
He needed Jiminy Cricket.
He did. Jiminy Cricket should have been like,
take his little cricket hand and back that cursor up.
do you really want to say that to a
just-
stranger? Okay,
Listen,
cool.
I'm
All
no
right.
fool. You are.
Anyway, throughout time, redheads have also been feared and condemned, she says. They are portrayed as oversexed, wild women with the power to lead men astray, which I want to be now my headline on every dating app.
Yeah.
And basically, like, everywhere. I think that should just be my tagline on everything. Yeah.
Just under your email signature.
Yep.
This is a better tattoo idea.
Throughout, really, she gets to the idea that redheads have often been thought of as witchy. She digs into, first off, what just makes red hair. It's just a genetic mutation, no big deal. But then what red hair has meant in society, often around that idea of witch, which is why I chose it for this. Some fun facts that she reveals in the book. Women with red hair were burned as witches during the Inquisition. So
That's heavy.
I think I was going to get burned no matter what. I have a lot of things going wrong with me, but the red hair would have really sealed it in the Inquisition.
Yeah.
In Greek mythology, redheads become vampires after they die. So I got that to look forward to.
That's kind of fun.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
Okay.
Hitler banned intermarriage with redheads for fear of producing, quote, deviant offspring. So there's that.
Okay.
In the Bible, Adam's first wife, who was the promiscuous she-demon Lilith, is usually shown as a redhead.
Oh.
And in the 19th century, I want you to confirm or deny this, Erin, it was popular belief that redheads were the strongest scented of all women, smelling of amber and violets. Is that how you would characterize my smell?
Yes. I often say that the reason I'm friends with Amy is because she smells like amber and violets.
Even right now when we're sweating through our clothes.
You smell even more of
I
violets.
smell it
Yeah,
like
it just
you
the violet smell
comes
just
right
gets
off of you.
stronger. Yeah.
Okay, great,
Yep,
great,
yep.
great,
What
great.
is amber? Is that a
I don't-
frankincense and myrrh
I didn't
situation?
know amber had a smell. I
Yeah.
just knew it was a color and a woman's name.
Yeah. I
That's
didn't
all.
either.
Okay. So we need to find that out since apparently I smell like that.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I've been smelling and I couldn't put a name to it. It's amber.
Yes. So I enjoyed this book, especially, I mean, obviously, because I grew up as a redhead, and I think anyone beyond that who is interested in how stereotypes or common beliefs come about would be interested in this.
Yeah.
Because she really digs into what that has meant over time and how those stereotypes have come about and all that good stuff. And also researching this again this week made me think about why some of my friends think I'm kind of witchy. I think it's just because of my hair.
Just because your hair.
Yeah.
Dang it.
It's nothing real cool about me. It's just my hair.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but
But then I follow it up with other witchy behavior. So maybe that's it.
yeah. You
Okay.
also have a black cat, maybe. That's,
Yes.
yeah.
Man, I've really been going for this witch thing without even really
Without
thinking
even
of it
realizing
consciously.
it. But hey, if this is going to get you to be a vampire on the other side,
Right?
I say embrace it.
In fact, I need to start planning now because I know what kind of vampire I want to be.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, well, when I say that, that means I haven't really thought about it yet. I'm going to think about it because I'm excited by that idea.
So would you rather be a witch or a vampire?
Oh, I want to be both.
Okay.
I want to make
Shapeshifter.
that happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want to be a vampire that can cast spells.
Wow.
And that can bite someone's neck and take their blood, but then be like, whoops, let's clean you back up, and then give all their blood back.
Oh.
I've taken what I need.
Oh, okay.
And now I'll give you,
now
just
you
go
can
back
have
on your
your-
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Go see my friend. She's got some stuff in a cauldron. He'll heal you right up.
She's got some nutrition in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Which do you think has more downsides? Witch or vampire?
I don't know.
Because I feel like the vampire, there's some like situational issues, you know, with the darkness and
But you know what? A lot of vampires are dudes, so they get away with a lot of stuff. Whereas witches are always burned.
That's true. You're probably not going to, you might have a stake through the heart, but that's highly unlikely if you're fast. Yeah.
People are looking for witches to burn.
Yeah, you're right.
Vampires are like, oh, that's fake.
As long as you don't bite me, I don't know. Whatever. We'll let him live in the basement. Mm-hmm. Okay.
When I turn into a vampire, could I live in your basement?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hands down. Okay. Sure. Be like, what's that amber and violet smell?
That's me!
Amy's back. She made it back as a vampire. Welcome. I got your coffin ready.
I want my coffin to be rhinestones and gold.
Done.
Great.
Done.
I want rhinestones spelling out my name.
Okay. Okay. So different colored rhinestones that say Amy? Okay. All right. What color do you want that Amy rhinestones?
I want silver.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can do whatever other colors as long as the silver stands out. Okay.
Go for it.
I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking probably like a black rhinestone. So it has like a glitter to it, but it's, you know, got a darkness to it.
I can't wait until I die.
I know. It's going to be marvelous. In the inside, I think some nice like red velvet.
Oh, yeah.
To play off, you know, the whole thing. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, because Podcat is my like witchy cat, if she will also turn into a vampire? Like, can we still hang out? And like, can she get her own coffin?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get it. Yeah. Okay. I think that's fair. Yeah. Like a vampire kitty? Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I think so. I also see a lot of cross marketing opportunities here.
Sure.
Like I'm thinking, you know, those plug-in candle things are a big deal.
God. Yeah.
Amber, violet, Amy scent. Also known as the coming back as a vampire scent.
Yeah.
I feel like also that could be popular.
Pretend to be a redhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See? That's the name right there. Gosh. So good.
Do you want to be an oversexed wild woman?
Maybe.
Get some amber and violet in your life.
Do it now.
Yep.
All up in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I'm not, to be clear, I'm only making a coffin for you and Podcat. So don't think that if you do that, then I'm going to do this for everyone else.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
This is a ride or die thing.
Yeah.
This is not.
I'm not putting that kind of time.
You don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of time to be glitterizing everything.
No.
Yeah.
Bedazzling everything.
Bedazzling. There we go. That's what I was looking for, and I couldn't think of it. Glitterizing is what I went with.
I like that too. So I want it to be red velvet and glitter, but glitter that doesn't like get
on you. Yeah, that's good. That's a good call. I like that. But your calling card could be like a tiny piece of glitter. Like they'd be like, I got a vampire bite. And I'd be like, oh, it's an Amy vampire bite.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Amy left behind some glitter.
Because you're alive, because she doesn't totally kill anyone.
I don't.
And there's a little piece of glitter.
Yep.
So explain that to your wife.
Exactly.
I like where we're going with this.
I like it a lot.
I do too.
Yeah.
So much. Now I want it to happen.
Wait, but this means we want me to die.
Yeah.
I think this is down the road. This is like 40 years down the road. It's just good to have a plan. It's good to have an afterlife plan.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very good. That way, when you go to the doctor and they're like, hey, do you have a living will or anything you need us to know?
I got it even better.
Yes, I do.
Like, I know what's going to happen. Exactly.
Get a hold of Erin. She's got my coffin ready.
Be like, listen, when you put me in the morgue, just don't be scared.
Yeah,
when about 5 hours later, I wake back up.
And I'm gone.
And I'm paler than I am now.
Well, they almost take on like a purplish quality, don't they? Because they're so pale.
I'm going to look like a giant bruise, pretty much.
Yep.
Translucent.
That's what I was
purplish.
Yep. Giant bruise. All right.
That's why I need the glitter to sort of
play. Yeah, I like it. All right. We're good. Good.
Very good.
Well, playing off that, my next pick, and I put this in the other category because it's humor and it's a collaboration. It's called Good Omens by the Nice and Accurate Prophecies of Agnes Nutter by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. So this was published in May of 1990, and like I said, it's a collaborating story. If you know anything about the two of them, they are amazing writers, but also hilarious. So this is, according to the Nice and Accurate Prophecies of Agnes Nutter, witch, the world's only completely accurate book of prophecies, which was written in 1655 before she exploded. The world will end on a Saturday. Next Saturday, in fact, just before dinner. So that gives you a little taste of what you're in for. So Rapture's coming, but unfortunately, there's an angel and a demon, and they both live on Earth. And for their own reasons, they've both decided they don't really want it to happen. So they're going to do everything they can to take care of this. So Agnes is actually the witch that's setting this all up for us. She's telling us a story. She's not necessarily like the one doing the action, but she's giving context to everything. So her perspective is what brings a ton of humor to it, and just, it's phenomenal. It's hilarious. It's a great take on witches, rapture, angels, demons. Bonus, it's going to be a series for Amazon.
Which I started watching. And
Oh, you did? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know that in an interview that Amazon was going to cut the character of Agnes, which is insane. And they had to fight. The two authors fought and said, no. There's no way this goes without Agnes. So they got her back in.
You know who her voice is in the show?
Who?
Frances McDormand.
Oh.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I haven't watched it yet. So
I've just watched a few episodes, and just from that, I want to read the book, because I imagine it's so much more realized and everything. But I love the pairing of the demon and angel. And in the show, it's, I'm completely blanking on the names. Michael Sheen and David Tennant. And they are just wonderful off of each other.
Yeah. It's great. It's hilarious. If you know anything by those authors, you would like this. It's fun.
Why does the witch explode?
Well, witches explode.
They explode. Okay. Yeah.
That's part of it.
Is that how I'm going to die?
No, I think we've covered you'll probably be burned and then brought back as a vampire. I don't think you'll get to explosion.
Okay. Great. Great.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
I mean, I know what's happening afterwards, so it's good.
Maybe if we got it to be an explosion, it would be like a bunch of Amy vampires, because it'd be a bunch of pieces. It's going to be a lot of coffins, though. I don't know if I kind of have that kind of time.
No, I don't want little copies of me. I've seen Multiplicity. I know that copies. I know that copies of copies, they just get dumber and dumber.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I want all the pieces to be in me.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Might be me micromanaging, but you
know. No.
Okay.
I think go with your instincts. Yep. I think go with your instincts.
And I mean the coffin thing. You don't want to have a lot of little tiny coffins.
No. No.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Pop culture wise,
yes,
I chose a podcast, and it's a relatively new one. It's called Nevertheless, She Existed. And the tagline for the podcast is the radical feminist history party you've been waiting for, which is kind of the best tagline ever. This is a part live performance and part pre-recorded podcast. And every month, the two creators behind this, they invite historians and comedians to come to a bar in New York and talk about a woman who's been erased from history.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So in the podcast, the two hosts, they sort of introduce the person they're going to be talking about, and then they go to the live recording of the person talking about that woman that's been erased from history.
Okay.
And they cover all sorts of women, but each month usually has a theme. And recently, a couple months ago, the theme was witches. So there were 4 episodes dealing with witches. One told the story of one of the first women to be killed in witch trials. One talked about a nun who said she was getting Jesus visions, who was indulging in some lesbianics in the convent. Another talks about Marie Laveau, the voodoo queen of New Orleans. And another one talks about a sex educator who was accused of being a witch and a prostitute of hell because she dared to talk about sex.
It's okay. For my own clarification, prostitute of hell is different than just your run-of-the-mill prostitute.
I guess so.
Okay.
I guess it's a prostitute of Satan or a demon.
Okay, so that it's a prostitute Satan sent to Earth.
So somehow Satan is paying her to have sex with her. Mm-hmm. They don't get into that. Yeah.
This is yet another argument for,
legalization of prostitution.
Yeah. Because it's just another way to take advantage.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because then they can, throw around. Prostitute of hell.
Yeah,
that's an epithet.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's great is in each episode, you learn how women accused of witches are usually the ones who were helping other women in history. They're women that were focused on healthcare. They were women that were focused on sort of empowering women in a community, or they were getting women just generally out from, the financial and sociological thumb of men. So, witch, obviously. The hosts are great. The presenters are terrific. It's a funny show. It's powerful. And it's one that teaches you a lot of cool stuff. And I'm excited for future series outside of this theme because they're going to talk about women who were spies. They're going to talk about women in the LGBT movement. They're going to talk about Riot Girl, Erin.
What?
I love me some Riot
You
Girl.
do. They had you at Riot.
So it's a wonderful podcast, and I look forward to hearing
That's awesome.
more.
I never heard of that. That sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Great pop culture pick,
And
Amy.
I like how they riffed on Nevertheless She Persisted.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last episode I threw out a oldie but a goodie.
You sure
A
did.
movie. I went ahead and did that again.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Did this one scare you?
No.
into peeing yourself?
I really liked this one, and
Okay.
it's actually what inspired me to read the book, which is
Okay.
So it's Witches of Eastwick,
the
the 1987 version.
Michelle Pfeiffer,
Cher, Susan Sarandon, Cher, all friends. They conjure up Jack Nicholson,
sure do.
who's maybe not the most handsome, but for some reason they're all in love,
Exactly.
and they have decided he's the perfect guy, and he helps them tap into their own power. So it's a little bit of comedic horror, is what I would say, which is how I like my horror, with a strong sense of humor.
Absolutely.
So it is. It's based on the novel by John Updike, and I just hadn't read the novel before I saw the movie, and I was hooked, and then I had to read it. So
Were the movie and the book pretty similar, or did you see a lot of differences?
I mean, there's some differences, but I think it sticks pretty. I mean, the basis is there, and this is one of those where it's a toss up for me. It's hard to decide, and I don't know if it's because I saw the movie first and then read the book, if that's maybe creating a bias there or not. But I mean, both are great. But
those three women are like the perfect casting for witches.
yes,
Did you have a favorite when you were watching among the witches?
okay, yes, because I was a huge Cher fan for a period of time, like
So
a
Cher was
huge
your
Cher
favorite.
fan.
All right.
Yeah.
And this was late 80s, so I'm picturing Cher from like the Mask era and like, Okay, great. Yeah.
I mean, my Cher phase went probably too longer than it should have, because then she released some new stuff, and then I got all the way back in, and I mean,
do you have a favorite Cher movie besides Witches of Eastwick, or is that it?
that's probably it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Great.
I have so many Cher songs playing in my head right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're not going to indulge that one.
You should, because I do a whole impression and it goes bad so fast. So fast.
That reminds me, just out of nowhere, I discovered this weekend that the 30th anniversary of Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation was this weekend. And I got a real clear flashback of me at age 12 watching the VHS tape that Janet Jackson put out with the album, Rhythm Nation, dancing along to Janet, memorizing every damn move of that.
Rhythm
So much so
Nation.
that when I saw there was an anniversary, I rewatched the Rhythm Nation video this weekend. I was like, oh God, I remember, like muscle memory. Oh God, here it is. Muscle memory. Maybe it was witchiness. I don't know. I just remember, this is the part where she does this. And
I'm in
there
it.
it goes.
I am in it.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie and say that now I'm not going to blast Cher on the way home.
No,
because
I
now
think
it's
you
all
should.
in my head.
I think you should.
I can't help it.
Indulge that. I don't want to be in the car with you.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fair.
Great.
No one should be, really. No one should be.
Oh, God. We talked a lot about a lot of wishes. Real witchy stuff.
So many.
Learned a lot about each other, as usual. We will be back next Wednesday. And in the meantime, you can head to our website, broadsandbooks.com, and check out all the recommendations we made in this episode.
You could also find some phenomenal bonus material. We got a road trip playlist. We got rules for a road trip. We got gift giving guides. We got a bonus of our first 25 episodes. We've got quizzes. We've got so much stuff.
And we're always thinking of new stuff.
Yeah, check it out.
Always.
After
you listen to all that amazing stuff, including this episode where you liked this episode talking about witches and witchiness and all that good stuff. Why don't you tell us about it in a review? If you listened with an Apple Podcast player, it's real easy to do it right in the player. If you listen on another way, it's a little bit more difficult. So head to your favorite social media.
Yes.
Tell us what you think. Communicate with us. Email us. We love to hear it.
Yes, that'd be fantastic. And while you do that, while you're reaching out on social media, tell us a theme idea you'd like to see. We came up with witches, which was fantastic, but so many great ideas have been given to us by listeners, and we take them to the nth degree.
We sure do. You can find us at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website. Instagram is Podcast's very own home, where you can see her getting up to all sorts of witchiness.
Absolutely. In the meantime, happy reading.
I'm up again. Same night, another dream. Before trying this recording thing, I didn't remember much of anything of these dreams. I didn't remember much from any of the women. And one night of doing this, and it's broken things open. The dreams they're in me, and they're coming out of me, and...
Talk to me. I am not broken. I am the most whole, most real.
Cause their despair. I wait for the word. Witch.
Look at the mad woman in her cage. She was a woman with holes inside her. That was the heaviest factor, the final evidence, the heart of the issue.
Somehow, you understand this. You hear me. Wherever you are, whatever this is, you... This isn't a dream journal anymore. It's not. It's just fact. Because now this is some sort of record. What are these dreams? Maybe there's a better question. Who are these women? Weird Woman is a Broads and Books production. All 9 episodes are available January 10th. Listen and subscribe to Weird Woman on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform. That's WYRD Woman, wherever you listen to podcasts.